But that brings us to our final topic of the
Oh
day,
my
which is
gosh.
basically Marvel movies are being delayed
No,
left and right. So
no.
Oh
there's a
no.
story from Deadline where basically
Say it ain't
Marvel
so.
paused on the Thunderbolts production due to the writer's strike. But in addition to that,
Not
like
Thunderbolts.
they've already had like Wonder Man and Blade be paused. Daredevil, Born Again has been paused. So
Mm.
like all this stuff that Marvel was kind of counting on to like go into production and come out on a schedule has been pushed back because of these strikes. And it's throwing them for a loop. And they've already been up against the ropes because of like their botched rollouts for phase 4 and 5. So Odin, is this going to hurt Marvel that they're pausing all these shows and movies?
I mean, they were hurting before any of this. I mean, you go back to Ant-Man and the Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania. Really the only bright spot they've had has been Guardians, but that's because it's within Guardians, and there's a lot of characters that people generally like, and the word of mouth on it happened to actually have been pretty good. But what do you have going on this year? You got the Marvels coming out. I just don't see how that film is as let's just say I don't think it's going to be as successful as the first Captain Marvel, which made over $1 billion. Which again, I just can't.
Well, you didn't have to eat pineapple pizza on that one, though.
I didn't. But oh man, I just would not have wanted
Odin, you
that.
didn't do it right. You got to do it again.
Oh
You didn't do
gosh,
it
here we
right.
go. Here we go. Bring it all up again.
Says the communist sympathizer.
Sympathizer, that's right.
But yeah, I don't think it's going to hurt them because I think they're already hurt to such a degree that if anything, especially with the writer strike, this could just end up being, all right, maybe we need to slowly reevaluate things, bring new people on, and need to have a pause. Hey, ever thought about that? Having just a nice little pause and letting things actually build up so that people want to see these things again. But
D-Dubs, I wanted to ask you, how does this affect Marvel and Disney's bottom line? Because if they're pausing these things, they still have contracts, they still have like schedules, all this stuff costs money, and the longer it's delayed, the more money it's going to cost them. How does stuff like this affect Disney, and is it going to put pressure on them to come to the bargaining table with these unions?
Well, both sides are getting more and more reason to bring this to an end. But in my own viewpoint, I would say that the writers are actually more likely to succumb versus the studios. The writers, I've been following quite a few of their statements and their Twitter accounts, what they've been saying, and there's not a small number of them who have been reaching out for money because their personal bank accounts are low because they blew all their stimmy checks and now they're on strike. And so I don't know in terms of whether or not this brings it to a wrap closer, but I would say that in terms of the MCU, in terms of Marvel, this makes it less likely that we will get more obscure content and more likely that we'll go directly into the Fantastic Four and X-Men as the
Yes.
studio will be desiring to turn the corner as fast as possible and to resurrect what is clearly a flailing franchise. We're looking at a potential here where Marvel may not make money again until next Christmas with Deadpool 3. I mean, look at their roster of content they have. Guardians is unlikely to make a profit, although that's a budget issue. But you're looking at the Marvels. How poorly will the Marvels do? And then it doesn't get any better. And so, I, for one, the only thing that truly saddens me is that if Marvel is no longer able to reach into their Z tier characters, we're going to miss out on fantastic content like 3D Man, Beta Ray Bill, Mandrill, Hellcow, and Angar the Screamer. Characters you've never heard about, but Marvel probably would have gender swapped anyway.
What about Squirrel Girl? Squirrel Girl in that group?
She's already a girl. They don't need
I
her.
I really well, I really want a Squirrel Girl movie.
I've at least
Only,
heard
Starting
of
to
Beta
only
Ray
if she can
Bill.
be trans and get some extra nuts.
Well, I think she already is. So I
Squirrel
don't know.
jokes.
Yeah.
Vader, do you think that we're losing anything as audience members for
No,
Thunderbolts and Wonder Man and
no, not a thing.
Blade being pushed back?
I'm actually really happy about the strike because it's given me a chance to get caught up on all these old Survivor seasons that I've missed. I'm looking forward into going back into the Survivor archives, and I'm going to get on Pluto and start watching the Stargate channel
Oh, you
nonstop.
love Pluto.
I do love my Pluto. So yeah, Survivor and Pluto TV. There's a lot of stuff on there that's going to take me a lot of time to get through while this writer strike's going. So I don't care. You know,
You guys should have
bring
seen.
on our AI overlords. You know, it's going to be amazing.
It
Can't
You
wait.
guys
really
should have
says
seen.
something that the writers struck and the general population has went, meh.
Yeah, who cares?
Really, that's
You guys should have seen Vader come into the office the other day where he was like, "Have you guys heard of this thing called Pluto?
It's
It's got
awesome.
so much
Was
great
it 2 weeks
stuff
ago
on
that you
it."
were talking about it too? Like you were
Yeah,
like,
dude, it's better stuff on there than Cox. Cox sucks. It's
Well, that
you
was
know,
your first
That's
problem
our,
by
that's our
getting that
cable
company.
company.
Oh
in
yeah,
Vegas is Cox.
It's it. It's the only one.
yeah, that
Louisiana
needs
had
more
the same.
context next
It
time.
was awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it wasn't as odd to me because in Louisiana, that's also like New Orleans. That is the only
Yes.
major one. But oh, it sucked. It was terrible.
I think there's literally 37 seasons of Survivor I haven't watched, so I'm really looking forward to getting.
There's a
caught
lot
up.
of
Yeah.
seasons of Survivor.
Yeah,
out
and
there.
then if I get into out of that, I'll go to the Amazing Race. So that'll be fun to catch up on all that stuff too.
If you
So,
exhaust this to the point you're just watching old seasons of Price is Right, that's when we're doing an intervention.
I quit watching that when Bob Barker left.
If it doesn't have Plinko or the Mountain Climber, I'm out for the episode. I'll just say
So,
that.
Come
uh,
on down.
Rod
Death
Rodney.
Angel-
That's a name we
Death-
should remember.
Death Angel Shadow pointed out, is it now
Squirks.
Squirks.
That's great. I love it.
non-binary
That's-
squirrel person? Squirks.
Somebody
That's
make
someone
that
who needs to be a writer, by the way, in Hollywood. Death
yes.
Angels, you go get in there as soon as this
Yeah.
thing's over.
for sure.
Hey guys, if you like this podcast, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and comment below on your favorite video as well. That goes a long way with helping us boost our channel and get out there in front of more people. And it lets YouTube know that we're doing something right. And if you want to catch us live, we go live 2 times a week, once on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific time and on Tuesdays at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. So join us there in the chat. We will see you on the live stream. Stay salty.